Of JJ, let's hear from him. He's speaking with Mike Trudell in the media.
JJ, you went into the second quarter up 7. What did you see flip in the game at that point?
They were able to get the start of their run was transition and a second chance. And if you look sort of at the effort offense areas for them, they ended up with 25 fast break points, which that's always skewed by the counter, so it's more than that, and 23 second chance points. So, the schematics wise in the half court, we'll take a look at everything and see what we want to tweak and all that. That's hard to overcome, particularly when a team is shooting like they were shooting tonight.
With that said, that you got to go and look at it, and they hit 21 threes. How many of those did you feel like were ones that you kind of have to live with to wall up the paint versus ones that you would have liked to see contested differently?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go look back at every one, but I know a number of those were in transition and off offensive rebounds.
JJ, Luka was able to get off to such a good start scoring the basketball, but I think he finished with only a single assist. What were they doing to kind of limit his playmaking opportunities, and what did you see on that front when it came to the other guys, particularly early in the first half?
A lot of it was just the coverage scheme they had, not really playing Gobert his normal minutes, and then some late reds, some late veers with him when he was in coverage. Then they had their 1 through 5 switching group in. So just in terms of like the 2 on the basketball, the blitzes, the 4 on 3s, just not there. I mean, I think that was expected on our side. But again, we'll look at the film and see what we can do better.
JJ, so much of your to your right, so much of your mantra this year has been effort defensively. It just wasn't there at the beginning of the second and the beginning of the third. Any thoughts on why that was, or were they doing something different to offset it?
No, I don't. Again, they're a great opponent. They're one of the best teams in basketball. There's, I think, it's not to say our guys weren't like ready to withstand like a playoff level basketball game. We were mentally ready. I thought our spirit was right. I thought even when they made runs, our huddles were great. The communication was great. I'm not sure physically we were ready, if that makes sense. And really, when they started playing with a lot of thrust and physicality, like we just didn't respond immediately to that. And then that stretch from the start of the second through 4 or 5 minutes to go in the third, we lost that stretch by 34. So that's a blowout.
You mentioned the physicality all week as we discussed with you this series. We knew that they're going to have a size advantage in certain matchups. How did you feel like that affected Austin Reeves early on, and do you feel like he was able to find some counters to deal with that as the game went on?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job as the game went on. Again, there's sometimes the early onslaught from Luka, it's just like easy offense, and he's making shots and getting downhill. The first possession he drives on Gobert, and then he's hitting threes, and that's really good offense for us. And some of the other guys may not touch the ball for stretches. And I thought there wasn't necessarily like forced actions. He missed a little bunny at the paint. LeBron missed 2 open threes. We had a Rui open 3. That was all at the end of the first, start of the second. And look, it's just natural. Again, sometimes the missed shots can affect the defense. There was a couple misses at the rim that then led to those transition buckets where we had a man down. Them playing 5-on-4 or 3-on-2. So we can be a lot better on offense and defense.
JJ, similarly with LeBron, he got off to a slow start before it felt like he found his footing more so in the second half. What did you see with him and how they were defending him?
They're obviously switching his pick and rolls with Gobert. And I thought we can we got a few good stuff just trying to get Conley involved with him on the ball. Probably got to do a better job of mixing in some off-ball actions for LeBron. There was a few plays, we had sort of called or drawn up, and they went zone nearly every time we ran an ATO. So we'll do better with that.